Can you stay still? Okay, great. You're still moving. Whatever. What's up, guys? We are back in the book nook yet again this week. I just finished a book 2 days ago and I have to talk about it because it was actually so amazing and I loved it so much. And that book is Heartless by Marissa Meyer. It was literally so refreshing, only because I feel like I've been reading all year, with the exception of The Hazelwood. Just these really great female characters battle certain things in their lives or monsters or whatever, and then, you know, like, they get with their love interest that they've been trying to get with throughout the book, and then it's just like, okay, well, your story's done now. Heartless follows the Queen of Hearts, but before she was the Queen of Hearts, she was just Catherine Pinkerton trying to make some hotcake up in Hearts. That's kind of like the jump off of this book.
Mr. Jump Off right here, man.
Catherine is living her life as the Marquess? I don't know. Her mom and dad are basically like Duke and Duchess of Hearts, but they've got other, like, I'll put the words here. And then you can read them and tell me what the hell that means. High society, we'll say that. It's set in the Victorian era, just as Alice in Wonderland and Through the Looking Glass are. It's definitely Lewis Carroll's world based. Some people were saying, like, this isn't a prequel, it's like an homage to Lewis Carroll. I feel like it is totally a prequel because these characters, like the March Hare and the Mad Hatter and the Cheshire Cat and the King of Hearts, those are all Lewis Carroll's characters. Like, he created them. And the way they're represented in this book are that of Lewis Carroll's original creation. So I would definitely mark this as a prequel to how the Queen of Hearts became the Queen of Hearts. And it's literally, like, probably one of the best love stories I've read all year. I have to say that. And I know this book came out like 3 years ago. I'm totally aware of that. I cannot tell you how many times I've been walking my ass through Barnes & Noble, seen Heartless, picked it up, looked at it and said, oh, I remember, it's that Alice in Wonderland book and I'm not really into it. Put it back down. Finally, if you saw my Barnes & Noble book haul video, I got this book for $4, and I don't care how many times I've picked up this book and put it back down. If I can get this book for $4, I'm going home with this book. This was the book that when I went to Barnes & Noble, I literally looked around and around and around, and they said that they had it, and then the girl looked around, and then nobody could find it. They said that they had 7 in stock, but they weren't anywhere in the building. So the lady was nice enough to order it for me and just have it shipped to my house. Still with all of the discounts and everything. So, and I get free shipping because if you're a Barnes & Noble member, you get that. I can't say no to a good deal. But luckily it all paid off because this is an amazing book by Marissa Meyer. I didn't realize that I've actually done this with her books a couple of other times. I've picked up Cinder, and I've also picked up Winter before. That I didn't know that these were all, like, I thought they were like their own individual stories, but they're actually part of the Lunar Chronicles that she's written, which I will now, of course, be actually buying and purchasing now because she's an amazing writer, and I just can't say enough good stuff about Marissa Meyer. But anyway, Heartless follows Catherine's story about like it got deeper than I thought it was gonna get, y'all. You know, her parents have basically groomed her entire life to be a proper lady, knowing that they want her one day to hopefully become royalty and ascend, and they look at that as a gift. Like, what woman wouldn't want to be queen, especially in like the Victorian era, like that's a dream for everybody, but that's not Catherine's dream. She just wants to make best tarts in all of hearts, and she wants to be a baker, and that's her dream. Throughout this book, she meets the court joker, the new court joker named Jest, who she kind of falls in love with while the bumbling fool of the king is trying to court her at the same time. Literally, like she writes the king so well, and every time, like every scene that he was in always flashback to the cartoon of Alice in Wonderland where they're like, Your Majesty!
Her Imperial Highness, Her Grace, Her Excellency, Her Royal Majesty, the Queen of Hearts.
And then it's like, and the king, and someone, just like one person is like,
King.
like, I totally get that, but like she just made it cut that one little guy, what those two little scenes that he had in that movie just come to life. Like completely fleshed out that character into something that is like completely recognizable. Just amazing, really. So yeah, it's a villain origin story, if you will, about how she became the Queen of Hearts. This is the first, it sounds so stupid, but this is the first book that has made me cry all year. A book about the Queen of Hearts. And if you have read this book, you know exactly that moment where you're just like, okay. I don't know if it's like at this point of where I am in life right now because like I'm trying to pursue my dreams and whatever, but throughout this book, not to spoil anything, so spoiler alert. It's not even really that bad of a spoiler, I'm not gonna tell you how it ends, but throughout this book, you know some bad stuff is coming because her endgame is being this wicked Queen of Hearts that doesn't really seem to have one. And the moment you see her change, by that time you totally understand why. You're totally invested in it, and it was really heartbreaking. The last couple of chapters of this book tore me to shreds. And I haven't cried all year over a book, except for when I finished the Akawar, this current Akawar series, I had a panic attack. But this is the only book that during reading it, I cried. It was like watching a sad movie. It was really heart-wrenching because she's losing so much, and yeah, it was, I can't even talk about it, I'll start to cry. Anyway, I highly, highly recommend you picking up Heartless. Even if you're not into fairy tale retellings or whatever, if you're not into that, I still think you would enjoy this book because, you know, if you can wade your way through little scenes with her talking to the Cheshire Cat and see this book for what it really is, you'll really enjoy it, I feel like. Because literally, for 3 years, I have been picking this book up, remembering it's about the Queen of Hearts, and putting it back down. And finally I read it, and I'm so happy that I did because I thoroughly enjoyed reading this book. And when it was over, I was like, I wish there was a sequel or something. But it's a one-off, so you can finish it and then you don't have to feel like, oh, now I gotta read this other one. Whatever. Pick it up. Tell me what you think about it in the comments below. If you've read it, what did you think about it? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Let me know. I really want to know. I will talk to you in the comments below. I've been known to do it before. I don't have a lot of friends. Anyway, the vibe for this book, let's see. I was listening to a lot of Florence and the Machine. I feel like whenever I'm reading a fairy tale or a book about fairies or something to that strain, I always listen to Florence and the Machine. Just because like she's so like ethereal and like her music is just like of a different world, I feel like, and it's just really beautiful music. So I will link some of her new album, which I was listening to when I read this, down below. I was listening to the soundtrack of like the Johnny Depp Alice in Wonderland or Underland or whatever they call that. So yeah, those two will be down below. You can check that out, listen to it while you're reading Heartless. Read it, pick it up, get it. Let me know what you thought. If you like this video, give it a like. If you did not like this video, give it a dislike. And I will see you guys next